All right, history question number 1. Who fought in the Civil War, Jess?
Oh, the North and the South.
Good. Revolutionary War, Emily.
Yeah.
Who fought in the
The
Revolution?
British,
And?
the Americans.
Very good.
I didn't know that.
It just came to me.
And why did they fight?
The tea,
I am
the tea.
so serious.
The tea. They were fighting over the tea and the taxes.
Really? Really?
Yes, the taxes. Someone raised the taxes and they didn't like it.
What
and
does
they
that
had the
have to
tea
do-
party, but they threw all the tea in the ocean.
That's Boston. In Boston.
Yeah.
Boston Tea Party.
So how does this connect to the
I
war?
don't have a clue.
That started a war. They started fighting. Oh, you know what happened? There was like 10 of them, and someone.
That's in the Bible. 10 and 2.
There were
No,
what?
wait, okay, no, wait. There was like 5 Americans, there was like 5 British, and they were all lined up. And someone was like, they were just standing there getting ready to fight, and then someone yelled fire, like someone like from the crowd yelled fire, and someone shot.
There
They
was-
weren't supposed to, so it killed one person, and that was the Boston Massacre.
Who fought in the French and Indian War?
Yes.
Who?
Oh, no, it's not. Don't say Indian. French.
The French
French.
The French?
and the
British.
us, the Americans,
The Americans. Who was fighting against who?
the French.
So why is it called the French and Indian War?
Because they were fighting over the Indians.
They all wanted them. They all wanted the Indians for themselves.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving right along in our. How about World War I?
I don't have a clue.
It was the First World
Was that
War.
the Germans? For the Nazis?
No, that was World War II or III.
There's no three.
World War II, right?
World War III.
World War II.
It was the Nazis.
But there's no three.
Okay, scratch that.
World War II is the Nazis. So World War I,
I think it's still the Germans.
of course, and probably the British and the Indians. World War I, I feel like
The Swiss? Were they involved?
the Swiss. I think it was the Dutch.
Well, maybe. No, they were involved in the Revolutionary War too.
Russia was involved. Russia,
I
I
can
think.
speak Russian.
Niet.
I don't know what that means.
No.
Let's go on to World War II.
The Nazis.
Very good, the Nazis.
And the
That's
concentration
Germany.
camps of the Germans.
And who was that one?
The Germans.
Who was that one guy that led all the Nazis around?
Hitler.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he was attacking the Jews, and the United States stepped in, but what other countries?
Who didn't like the blonde hair with the blue eyes? People.
What?
Just go try killing all of them.
No, they like the blonde hair.
Yeah, because that's German. They killed their Jews.
The Jews? Okay, so only German people have blonde hair and blue eyes.
That's it. You go anywhere else, you're not going to find them.
So
Since World War II.
So Hitler
Whatever.
was blonde haired and blue eyed, right?
No, he was dark haired with a dark mustache.
How about Vietnam? Who was in Vietnam?
The Vietnamese.
And America.
And the Indians.
And
No.
the Indians.
No.
The Indians could join the army for the United States.
Oh, you know what?
The Americans.
The French helped the Americans in the Revolutionary War.
How did we get back to that?
I keep
The
remembering
Vietnam War was bad.
things. The Vietnamese.
How about the Cold War?
Her name's Danielle.
Cold War.
Oh, was it cold? That's
Russia. Because it's cold there. I think it was Russia.
In Greenland.
Russia and Greenland?
And it's hot in Iceland. Cold War, I think it was. I always think it's either Russia or Germany.
Well, we just had the German War. We're moving on.
That's not what it's called.
Okay. We had the
The
German
Cold War was in the 1800s, I believe.
Okay, all of the wars were in the 1800s.
No, the World Wars weren't.
What were they
And
in?
the Korean War, was
The
it?
Depressions in the 1900s.
Yeah.
Great Depression.
Thank you. What decade? Please, no.
First. What?
Really? That's worse than me, I think.
It's a decade, 100 years. Or 10 years.
A century is 100. It was the decade that Grandma and Grandpa were born. They were born during the Depression.
70s, the 60s.
I was born in the 70s.
Okay, the 50s.
Keep going. Keep going.
30s.
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa were born in the 30s?
35 and 31.
Alright, so that would make them 70, almost 80.
It's turning into math class.
Not over 80.
It's hopeless. Any atomic bombs used in the Cold War?
Sure.
Sure. Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Is he a wrestler?
What is Hiroshima? Is what? What did you say?
Like a sumo wrestler.
No, Hiroshima. Isn't that the site of a bomb?
I don't know.
Hiroshima. That was when Japan attacked us at Pearl Harbor. What war was that?
Pearl Harbor, that was the Cold War.
No, it wasn't. That was one of the world wars.
That was the first one.
Okay, first one, Japanese attacked.
At Hiroshima.
No, at Pearl Harbor. But what's Hiroshima? I think it's an atomic bomb.
Is it?
Or a place in Japan. It sounds so Hiroshima, the bomb at Hiroshima, the something of Hiroshima. Hiroshima is pretty pivotal in one of the wars, I think.
Where was Hiroshima?
Japan.
It is a city, but there was a big bomb there, right?
Yes, there's a big bomb there.
Was there?
It killed a lot of people.
In Hiroshima.
Was it atomic?
See? I got the Hiroshima.
Okay,
Next
one
question.
more. Gulf War.
Was that in the Gulf of like Mexico?
You're lying.
No.
Well, are you being serious?
Is it there?
Oh my goodness, Em. Maybe you were a kid at the time. What year were you born?
I was born during the Gulf War, 94.
It might have been right before you were born. It was in the 90s, early 90s.
You know what war is going on right now?
We're back to the Gulf War. It's not the Gulf of Mexico.
Is it the Gulf of Florida? Isn't there a Gulf around there?
Yes, but it's not. That is precious. The Gulf. The Gulf War.
Mexico.
I think that was early 90s. So no answer? It's just Mexico?
Gulf of Mexico.
Well, it's not.
Why not?
Ask your sister.
Alright, let's
See if she knows.
I don't know either.
Oh, you don't?
I don't
Oh
remember
my
the Gulf
goodness,
War.
that's shocking because that was probably when you were born. What year were you born?
92.
That is so interesting, isn't it, Ben?
It is.
Because that
It
was
is.
so
Real.
much a part of our lifetime.
What happened?
happened?
Was everybody okay?
Is everybody okay?
That was precious. What happened? Is everybody okay? Well, some would say it had to do with oil, much like Iraq. It was fought in the Middle East.
Iraq, that's going on right now.
That is Iraq.
What was the name of the Gulf?
The war of Iraq. What is the war right now
the Gulf?
called?
You know what Gulf it was?
Yeah, I don't think we have a war.
Question, what are we
name
going to
yet.
call this war?
Gulf of Kuwait. It's not called that. I'm thinking of the countries. Kuwait,
Is that a country?
Iraq. Yeah, in the Middle East. What's the Gulf over there? I totally know this.
Starts with a P and ends with an Ursian.
Persian.
The
Very
Persian
good.
Gulf. Of course it was. The Persian
What about the
Gulf
Persian
War.
Wars? There's some Persian Wars in there. Was that the Gulf
We're going
Wars?
back a
That's
couple
the Gulf War.
millennium there for the Persian War.
Yeah, because
Oh, is that like
In the Bible.
oh, with like the Incas? What? And Peru?
Peru. Peru versus
Mayans.
Persia over the Incas. And the French helped out too.
The what?
Fresh,
Those stinking French. Always tagging on somewhere. All right.
Let me see if I can think of a question.
Okay. We gotta quiz them.
Who was... I have to know the
President.
answer though. It's hard to come up with something.
Who was the 16th president?
I know that one.
Lincoln.
What was his first name?
Abraham.
Where was he born?
In Abraham.
What?
That's not a country. That was the name of a person.
Who you're talking about? Where was he born?
He was born in Pennsylvania.
No.
He was born in New York.
Springfield, Illinois.
Good job. Look at Elizabeth being a historian.
All right, what did he do?
What?
Did you know that George Washington?
He cut down trees. No. Lincoln did.
No. He cut down the apple tree.
No, not an apple tree. He cut down log trees. Log trees.
What? Dude?
For a log cabin. They lived in a log cabin. And his mother had a mental illness, and they had about 15 kids. It's
What
true.
war was
my
he involved in?
Okay, no wait. George Washington, he was a
Civil.
commander. Yeah. He led a bunch of wars, like the Revolutionary War.
Who did?
George Washington.
And this has been History with the Stuenzi's. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.